This is Jack Owen from 6 Feet Under, and you're listening to The Dan Chan Show.
Hey, Jack, how are you doing tonight, mate?
Hey, how's it going? Doing good, man. How you doing?
Well, it's tonight for me, daytime for you there in Chicago. What time is it? It's like lunchtime.
It is 11 a.m.
11 a.m. Have you got your coffee on?
Oh, yeah.
Good
That
man.
reminds me. Let me take a slug out
See,
of my state.
I'm at the point now where I'm thinking it's just gone across like 5 o'clock. As we say, the sun's always setting somewhere in the British Empire, so we're having a beer somewhere. So
Never too early.
never too early, man. So let's get into it. You know, you're here primarily to talk about the new awesome 6 Feet Under offering, Killing for Revenge, which is out on the 10th of May. How excited are you to be getting this out?
Very excited because it came out exactly the way I wanted it to. So we're ready for everybody to hear the whole thing. We dropped a couple singles, and the word is pretty good so far.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the word on the street? Is everyone happy with what they're hearing?
Yeah, the fans love it, and the haters are having to make stuff up this time. Chris Bond sucks.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, most of the comments are all a bunch of E's, and I'm like, I love it. I think that's what they mean.
Yeah. So, how long has this album been ready for? Has it been, because obviously it's got to be born in the pandemic, because obviously you've not done anything since 2020 now, haven't you, when you first joined the band? So has it been ready for quite a while, this? Have you had the time to prepare it?
Yeah, I think I did guitars in February of last year.
Wow.
I can't remember.
Right. Okay.
I would go to Florida, and the first time I went to Florida to record for Nightmares of the Decomposed, I got in and out right before everything shut down.
Right. Okay.
It was just happening.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been ready, and it seems every time you put on an album, it's like, man, this is old already. But
yeah, that's always the case.
It sounds pretty fresh to me.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, I read that you didn't get together to record. You recorded it all separately, throughout the country. How was that? And do you like the modern way of recording that way? You've been in the game for many years now. In an ideal world, would you all be together, or do you find it more, relaxing just doing it that way?
Yeah, it would be cool to do it that way, but we're on four corners of America, so this is the way we have to do it right now. It's cool. I like either way, remotely or all in one studio. What we do is just record everything. It's on file, and our guy who mixes it is in the middle of the country, and then we just approve the mixes through Dropbox or online.
Yeah, I get you. So do you think it's more chill these days recording compared to, say, your younger years when you probably all got into a room and, would cause mischief, et cetera, et cetera? Do you think it's more, as you've got older, is it more chill?
Oh, yeah. Like back in the day when you don't know what's going on and the producer's getting frustrated because you don't know what you're doing and you're not ready or not prepared.
Yeah.
It's night and day. It's like being kids in the studio, and now it's just like, let's do another album. Boom, boom.
Yeah. Do you still enjoy it? Do you still enjoy that? I mean, obviously you like the process and everything, but is it still therapeutic for you? Do you still what do you get from it? Obviously so many albums that you've performed on, so many gigs you've performed. How is it for you these days?
I love it. I like the writing process, the demoing process, the recording, touring, of course. The best thing about touring for me is the travel, just seeing different places. So, yep, I still love the music, like everything I grew up on, and it seems like I haven't peaked yet, like as far as what I want to do. Just keep going, putting out albums that people like and seeing the world.
Of course. Now, surprisingly, for a guitarist, and I know Chris, you joining the band, Chris wrote most of the lyrics. Now you're writing 90% of the lyrics on this album. Are you a natural lyric writer? Because I think you said, I've read or listened to something, you said you've been writing lyrics since the 80s. How do you go about it? Where do you draw your inspiration from?
I guess when you're in this kind of band, it's just kind of, you're writing horror fiction because, back in the day, it was like horror movies and like true crime stuff. And Now it's like I've seen and heard so much. It's like all I need is a phrase, and I have a song title, and then I write music around that.
Do you have to get into a certain headspace for that? Do you have to get into a certain place? You say, right, tonight I'm going to go and, get into that mode, or do you just have a pen and paper by your bed and you just scratch things down when you get in the mood?
Yeah, I can hum stuff into my phone, or I have everything I need to record now and to write drums.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, right. Okay. So the
yeah.
demo process is all you, really, pretty much.
Yep. And yeah, as far as lyrics, it's like I've been writing lyrics for a long time, and I just had an idea for Accomplice to Evil Deeds, and I started laying down the vocals just to show Chris where the lyrics are, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Dude, awesome, do all of them."
So you've come into the band and basically just owned it. Pretty much. He's like, Chris has got like his best mate from the old band, Cannibal Corpse, and thought, he can just take some pressure off me here.
Yeah, it's like he wrote something on how many? 10 of the songs, and he wrote all of When the Moon Goes Down in Blood.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
So yeah, he's definitely contributing, but yeah, I came in and took over. I didn't mean to, but he gave me the freedom to do it, and I was ready. So
That's cool. That's cool. And I always ask this question to death metal writers. Have you ever written anything over the many years that you've been writing that you laugh about it and you think, oh my God, that's gone too far, just too far this time? Have you ever done that?
I don't think I have, but I recently read some of the lyrics on Tomb of the Mutilated, and the song Entrails Ripped from a Virgin's. It's like the title is brutal, but the lyrics are even more brutal. I
Wow.
mean, you could go to jail for something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Geez. But you must have, you must have to get to a very dark place. Do you watch a lot of Netflix to get those crime docs and stuff, as you said? Does that really help you?
Yeah, we were talking about that in another interview, and it was like back in the day, it was like, how do you get inspiration? And it was like, well, newspaper, horror movie, and now it's like you turn on cable and there's like 3 or 4 networks that are all like true crime
Dedicated. Yeah,
all day,
exactly.
all night. But
There's forever something on Netflix that obviously we're all fascinated with,
my friend Dahmer, and there's a
Yeah.
documentary on every serial killer.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, if I turn it on and there's a phrase, like maybe one of these was on there, I don't know. But now we've just become horror fiction writers.
Yeah. Got you. So obviously you write the riffs as well. Are they always in your head? I'm a drummer and I'm a frustrated guitarist. I even come up with some riffs in my head. I'm like, that would sound really cool as you're like driving or something like that. When you write your guitarist, do you have to sit down specifically with your guitar? Or as you say, can you just be walking around the garden center and just hum something into your phone?
Yeah, there's a million ways.
Of course.
If I have a lyrical phrase that's from TV or whatever, that's easy to write a riff around that, and then everything writes around that. Or I have a riff archive if I'm stuck. Like
Right.
Ascension from the album was all riffs from an archive because I had lyrics that were based on Macbeth by Shakespeare. So I kind of had to dig for riffs to go around that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a million ways. Accomplice to Evil Deeds came to me in a dream, so I had the whole concept and kind of the riffs in my head when I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
A million different ways.
But how quick do you take them from your, say, humming into your phone notes to actually grinding it out on the guitar in maybe your home studio or whatever?
Yeah, I'll be zoning out in bed or whatever, hum it into my phone, and I'll kind of work on it the next day.
Oh, cool. It's quite hot then.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Now that I have everything I need, everything's set up, and you could just sit down and play and write drums and then lay it all out.
Awesome. Now let's talk the themes. Obviously, we've talked about the horror themes and all that, but themes. This album has a theme that I like, and it's an album based on revenge, I believe. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's kind of revenge, but it's more of like disappointment in the human race.
Okay.
And it's like after the pandemic, it was like, man, and everything with the internet and clickbait, and it's just like, man, human race is just like a failed experiment.
Yeah.
So a lot of the songs deal with that, and some songs are standalone, like, yeah, Judgment Day is revenge. Accomplice is just mass murder. Oh, Hostility Against Mankind is the other one that's just like getting rid of everybody, like one at a time or all at once.
I see you reading off the back of the vinyl there. You've got all prepared.
Mhm.
Is that's all fresh and everything? And obviously the very, very, very cool artwork as well. Now, obviously you write all the music. You can't do the artwork, but I mean, you got Vincent Locke involved in this, obviously legend himself. Did you give them do you give, when it comes to those albums, do you give them an idea that, you going through your head, or do you just let them listen to some tracks and let them go for it? How does that work?
Oh, we just gave him some song titles, and he sent back some sketches, and one fit Accomplice to Evil Deeds, and then we're like, heads on a pole in a shed. That's exactly as I dreamt it.
I mean,
So
total death metal, but is it the sort of thing you like, as soon as you see it, you're like, that's it, that's the one, that's going to be on t-shirts, that's going to be on our tour posters, that's the one.
yeah, and we kind of based it on the color of To Me the Mutilated. There was a censored cover that had that burnt blood kind of color, so we
Yeah.
said go with that. And yeah, it'll look good on shirts. Some of the
Sweet one.
sketches he sent were like sci-fi and I don't know, people on another planet
Yeah.
with an old car, like Evil Dead, maybe.
Right. I see. But didn't work, didn't sit with it.
Nope.
Got you. So obviously with this album, well, 6 Feet Under like to record a cover, and you've done Nazareth Hair of the Dog, which is a great cover, by the way. They're obviously always a great choice. What made you choose that track?
Well, Chris chose that, and I always liked it, so I demoed it out real quick, and it could have been more heavy, but I just stayed traditional, like rolled the gain off the guitar and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
made it sound like the original, I hope. And then we added the cowbell sample because our drummer
Yeah,
just
class.
likes
Obviously,
cowbell.
that's class. That's obviously can't miss
And
that.
yeah, everybody did a good job on it.
And
And
what
some
do you think
covers
it's?
are hit and miss.
Yeah, so I mean, with covers, do you have like a list of covers that you'd like to play, or they just come up randomly?
Random. We just needed one for this album, and Chris chose that, and I was like, good, I like it, and it's easy to play, and it'd be
Sure,
harder to make it heavier because it's blues based.
of course
So
it is. Yeah.
uh,
So let's just talk some history about yourself with the band. You and Chris were both in Cannibal Corpse, like we all know. Chris had 6 Feet Under as a side project, I believe, at the same time as Cannibal Corpse. I'm correct, right? Back in the 90s.
oh yep, yep.
Yeah. So how was that at the time with, Cannibal Corpse? Were they happy with Chris doing that? Were you happy about that?
It was hard to split at that point because on my level, I just like to see the machine keep going until
Sure.
it breaks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was a hard thing to do. I think if we had more communication, we might still be together. It's hard to say.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, obviously you left Cannibal Corpse, joined Deicide, and then you joined 6 Feet Under straight after Deicide. Well, what was that gap between them? Was it like 5 or 6 years? What were you doing in that time?
Oh, between Deicide and 6 Feet Under,
Yeah.
I think I took a session gig with Karak Angren from
Oh,
the
yeah.
Netherlands.
Yeah, I
They're
know him. Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
guys, putting on corpse paint.
Yeah. Love it.
That's about all I did to fill in. I just started writing and writing.
Yeah.
I joined 6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
I
And
had that.
how was that moment for you? Did Chris just say, look, brother, let's do it, or did he have a gap or something or what?
Yeah, everybody was right. Oh, they were down to one guitar player, so
Right.
I've always been in touch with them since he left Cannibal. So
Right. I see.
either I reached out to him or vice versa, and it was like, let's go on tour.
A total natural fit, right?
Oh yeah, very easy.
So were you always in touch when Chris left? And obviously you did a bunch of stuff, obviously with Cannibal and Deicide as well. Were you always kind of like, was he always there in the background?
Yep. Email or text, or if he was at a festival that we were at, I'd run into him.
Hang up, yeah, hang out,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't hate anybody. I'm pretty much in touch with everybody from like DSI and
Yeah,
Cannibal.
yeah. So what was your situation with leaving, Cannibal and then Deicide? What happened there? Was it a natural thing for you?
Oh, Cannibal, I just had to get away. That was really it. It's really nobody's business. So, DSI, it was like a writing dispute, and the touring had kind of ended because booking agents were hesitant to book the band.
Because of
So,
controversies and stuff, was it? Or
not really. Just like me and Glenn's personalities don't really mesh. So it was like a combination of everything. Just
Right.
time to got to get away again.
Yeah, got you. Seems like a perfect fit with 6 Feet Under now.
Yeah, everything's good. Everybody's cool. It's like a brotherhood.
Awesome. That's what we want. Now, touring, it's been a long time, I believe, and I read that Chris wants to get this on the road. Are you excited at the prospect? And when might that happen? When was the last 6 Feet Under gig? Must have been pre-pandemic, right?
Pre-pandemic, the end of 2019.
Was it really? Was that the
Yep.
last gig? Was that the last gig you've done?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. Could have got out and we thought about it, but I'm sure you've heard touring has gotten way expensive.
Sure.
So
Yeah, sure.
gotta get on a package or gotta get like a backline touring company
Yeah,
and flights and everything. So
sure. So is this the longest gap you've had between shows in your whole career?
probably
Wow.
looking like 5 years at the end of this year. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Does that build up any anxiety or does it build up like an excitement of the next opportunity?
Always ready to go, but if I'm home, I'm writing riffs or writing drums or demoing songs, or I'm always busy with some kind of musical thing, archiving music.
Sure, sure. So to be clear, you're hoping to get this on the road at some point during 24, maybe 25?
Oh yeah, we got plans. Nothing's confirmed yet. So,
Awesome. Awesome. Look forward to that. Now, I think I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask it anyway. What do you prefer, the studio or the stage?
stage.
Really? I thought it'd be the other way around because you do so much with the recording of you by yourself. I thought you'd go the other way, actually.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I like the traveling and hanging out with the guys in the band and the guys in the other bands. It's just like a rolling party.
Yeah. And I suppose if you're not together as a band anyway, because you're not close together, it's nice to be together to do that.
Yeah. Yep,
Sure.
everybody gets along, and the guys are really cool, and
Sure.
yeah, it's a piece of cake touring with this band.
Awesome. Can you, I know it sounds a bit cliche, Jack, and I do apologize, but can you recall a funny stage or studio anecdote that you could share with us?
There's always that Cannibal show. It was like in the early '90s, and our dressing room was like 100 yards or meters from the stage, and we decided to come all the way down the hall, like smashing and yelling and screaming all the way to the stage.
Right.
I don't know why. We were idiots. And I think somebody had a video of it, and you could hear, like, if you're in the venue, you can hear us coming down the hallway. We're all yelling. And we get to the stage, and everybody's like, oh my God, these guys are going to kill us.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you this because I spoke to Paul many years ago, probably a couple of years ago now. And he told us about, obviously, you were part of the whole Jim Carrey situation. What was that like?
Awesome. We had a choice between Airheads, the movie, and Ace Ventura, and we just took
You
Ace
had a
Ventura.
choice. You had a choice.
Yeah, out of the blue, just like, I don't know, Ace Ventura. Because
Well,
we were going to
wow.
record in Miami, and we knew the club that they were filming at, and we didn't know. And then we met Jim Carrey, and he was so cool, and he's into metal, and it just went so smoothly.
That was it's such a most iconic metal moment in any Hollywood film, I think.
I think so. I mean, there's other ones, but
For the
this,
no, iconic for like Cannibal and the whole death metal scene, it was such an important, integral moment, you know.
yeah, the dichotomy of a slapstick movie and then a death metal band. It's like, what?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Was it fun? Is it still one of your highlights? Is it a pretty cool moment?
Yeah, that's cool. And then Cher's son Elijah hired us to play at the Viper Room in LA for his birthday.
Wow.
That was like 2002 or something. So
Was
we get
was Cher there?
yeah, Cher was there, and we were there a day early, so we went to her house in Malibu and hung out there.
Wow.
I was at the front gate, and Jared Leto and Cameron Diaz were at the gate, and I had to let them in. And I'm like, I guess you guys can come in.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
another surreal thing. It's just like, what? What is this? We had a cake for Elijah, and it was Tomb of the Mutilated album cover. Cher
That's
got it from the
hilarious.
store.
Oh my God. What did the Hollywood elite think of it?
I don't know. They're kind of weird, so
You're up for it.
There were some other people at the show, like Sherry O'Terry and some Saturday Night Live people.
Wow.
They were all
Amazing.
into it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a bit of a, I was going to ask you for a yin and yang moment of your career. They're two pretty cool ones. Have you got anything that's a bit like, shit, where you might want a moment you might have want to hung up your guitar or something that might have like, pissed you off, or what's a bad moment? I don't want to be negative, but I don't want to draw too much on that, but
Oh, both of my parents have passed away while I was on the road
Oh, right. Sorry to
in
hear that.
Cannibal, so I'd have to miss 3 shows and go home, and then same thing for my father. So that
Oh,
totally
that
sucks,
sucks.
but
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. So, I mean, let's think about how many years have you been in the game for now, Jack?
since
Oh,
'87.
so a good chunk of years. I can't do the math right now quickly, but you've been in the scene for that many years, a true veteran, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, 6 Feet Under. How do you think the scene has evolved throughout the years? Not just the scene, but the music industry in general.
Well, it's pretty strong. I mean, somebody asked me if there's too many bands, and I was like, apparently not, because I'm listening to most of the new stuff that comes out, and I'm grabbing like CDs and LPs when I go to the secondhand store and archiving all that.
Right.
So
Okay.
people have a huge appetite. So more bands, the better, I guess.
Do you like to listen to what new music do you listen to? Because I mean, I speak to a lot of musicians, a lot of bands, and they go, "Oh, I haven't got time to listen to new music. And give me that line." But do you check out new stuff? Not just bands that are established, but newer bands.
Oh yeah, they're new to me. Like they might have been around for a while, like
Yeah,
Necrot.
yeah. Necrot, cool.
And I found Street Tombs. They're on Carbonized, so I
Right.
started listening to all the stuff on Carbonized, and that's all killer. Like
Yeah,
Blaze R and Funeral Leech, and
yeah,
Chris sent me the Brat album, and they're awesome. And geez, there's just so much stuff.
yeah. So that's a good thing. The good thing about Spotify is it does give you the opportunity to get stuff out. You might be some of the greatest musicians and never be able to get any music out if it was like 30 years ago, but they can get the stuff out now.
Sure, yeah. If I had too much, I guess I'd just do it all on Bandcamp.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, I don't know whether you saw, but this week Glenn Benton said that metal's full of wannabe Weezer looking dudes. Do you agree? Did you
I
see
don't.
that? Did you see that quote?
Yeah, I saw that. It's like I don't think image really matters. I mean, maybe he's talking about Trevor from Black Dahlia or whatever, but
Right.
whatever. I wear readers. Glenn wears readers.
Sure, sure, sure. Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Glenn Benton better watch his back with all the videos that they're making because the religious fanatics are going to be coming for them again.
Well, I mean, especially in the States. Okay, this is a question I have asked my American friends. What's the state of the situation in the States with regard to, I don't want to get too political, but what's going to happen this year with old Trump?
I know. I don't see him winning because he's just alienating a lot of his own people.
Right, okay. That's a
And
relief.
the incumbent, yeah, the incumbent usually wins their second
Yeah,
term.
yeah, true.
So
Apart from Trump.
they're both old, but whatever.
Yeah, I know. And obviously with Florida being such a Republican state, having death metal, the home of US metal, it must be a weird one going down there.
Yeah, Florida's a different thing.
For sure, for sure.
Biden said he could win Florida, and I'm like, dude,
Oh,
you need to
man.
go to Florida. There's no
Yeah.
way.
It's
That is
DeSantis' town. You ain't winning that.
it
So,
is just country.
so what does Jack like to do away from music? What do you do when you put your guitar down for the day? What do you do to chill out?
Oh,
You're obviously a big football fan. You're wearing your Steelers top
yeah,
now.
a lot
So,
of
I mean,
sports. We got hockey, we got college football, pro football. I do what I call upselling on eBay and stuff.
cool. Yeah.
Just getting retail stuff at deep discount or free, and
Yeah.
eventually you build up like a seller base. So it's like, hey, I got more of this, got more of that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Let's see, sport. Oh yeah, cat rescue is one
Oh,
now.
nice. Nice. A bit like, is it, I think John Charlie, does that, doesn't he? With his,
Don, yeah.
yeah, he's got his, I spoke to him a couple of years ago and he's got his cat rescue thing, bless him. That's awesome. Awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. Now, have you got a message for the fans, new and old, Jack? Do you want to tell them something about this record to get them to go and give you the support?
Man, if you like Cannibal Corpse, if you like 6 Feet Under, I think you're gonna like this one. I would check it out. I put it on and I listened to the whole thing, and it
Yeah,
hasn't gotten old for me yet. So
same.
check it out.
It's awesome, man. It's an awesome album. Lastly, John, lastly, Jack, I was going to say John then. Lastly, Jack, what's the most used emoji in your phone?
Oh, the smiley face with all the teeth.
Oh,
Because
it's
I'm
nice. It's a bit
yeah,
like,
yeah. Somebody was like, "Hey, we need a guitar player," and I was like, "Phil Demo, he's not doing
yeah, yeah,
anything."
yeah, yeah. Apart from, is he playing with Kerry King?
Yep, he's playing with everybody.
Yeah, he's
Category
playing with everyone.
7, Carrie King.
What do you think to the Kerry King thing?
It's leftover Slayer, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No. And then Kerry King does that, and then all of a sudden Slayer decides to come back, and he's thinking, why did I bother? You know,
I know.
it's a bit
What?
weird timing, weird
Yeah,
timing.
he's gonna be touring with Carrie King. Carrie King's on tour with Carrie King,
Yeah. And then
and then
Slayer,
he's
and
doing,
then whatever. It's a
and then,
strange one.
and then he's doing the Slayer dates.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
Eh,
Well,
keep busy.
absolutely. Jack, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, my friend. I really appreciate it. Good luck with the album. And I do hope to see you in Europe at some point. You never
I
know.
know. I was thinking when I've been to the UK, like over a decade ago.
Wow. Well, listen, man, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Cool, thank you. Live metal.